So what I'm going to do is to first of all draft out the top part of this dress. So we're going to start by getting our horizontal measurements, and then this place is going to serve as our shoulder line. So I'm going to place my tape here. I'm going to get my upper bust length. I'm going to be using 6.5 for her. The bust length, her bust length is 10. Then I'm going to now go ahead and I'll still also get her under bust length. Her under bust length, I'm going to use that for 10. And then her waist length is 16.5. So I'll go ahead and replicate this again, and then I'll be right back. Then we'll go ahead and impute our horizontal measurement. Her shoulder is 7.5. I'm going to go ahead and use that. 7.5. I'll go ahead and add 1 inch as my sewing allowance. I'll make it 8.5. So I'm also going to draw the 8.5 here. Okay, then I am going to connect these together. Upper bust length, under bust length, waist length. So I'm going to come here and mark my round bust. My round bust is 40 divided by 4 is 10. And then I'm going to add 2 inches sewing allowance. That is 12 inches. I'll put it here. Then I'll now come down to the waist side and then get my round waist. My round waist is 30 divided by 4, 7.5. I'll just mark the 7.5 here. I'm not going to add any dots to it, okay? So I'll go ahead and connect this together. So the next thing we are going to do now is to impute our neck measurement. We are going to use 3 by 3. I'm going to use my curve ruler and then connect this together. This is not the neckline of this. I just want to do this for now. I'll connect it to my curve ruler. Then from here, I am going to go down a slope. I'm going to go down by like 1 inch. And then I'm now going to connect this together from the neckline down to the 1 inch here, like the 3 inches in this way. I'll connect it just using freehand. This one I'll just use freehand. You can also use your curve ruler. I'm just using freehand to do this. But for this style of clothes that we are doing, I'm going to make this as my back pattern. This is going to be my back pattern. So instead of us to use this neckline that is 3 by 3, I'm going to come down by 1 inch here. Okay, so I'm going to mark this. So this is going to serve as my back pattern. Okay, so at this place, because I want this outfit to, like, you know, have fitting, okay, at this point I'm going to go in by 1 inch. At this point I'll go in by 1 inch so that I'll eliminate any form of folding. I'll come here and add that 1 inch at this spot. So I'm going to connect this boob area to this place, and then I'll connect this one to this back to here. Okay, so with this I've done now, this is going to be my back pattern, but I'm not going to cut any of this out yet. I am going to leave it here, and then let us now cut the front before we'll go ahead and then cut out the back pattern. I hope you understand what I mean. Remember, this is my back. When I told you it's going to be my back pattern, I've gone ahead to replicate the same thing for the front pattern. Exactly what I did in the front back pattern, and that's what I just did now. The only thing is that I folded this into 2. If you can see, there is one here and then there is another one here. So I folded it into 2, this being our center front. The reason why I'm doing that, I like to, when it comes to all this kind of slash and this kind of outfit, it's good for you to work with the double, like the full pattern all at once, you get, and not just using just 1/4 of the pattern. So what I'm going to be doing now is to go ahead and cut this out. Okay, I'll cut this out as you see me doing so. I even forgot to write, this is the front pattern. Then I will cut this out from here. And then finally we'll cut out the shoulder slope. I want to give a mark at this point so that I'll connect these lines together. So you see what I was telling you about having I want the pattern to be full. It's not like 1/4 of the pattern. It's exactly what I'm talking about. So now we have opened it. You can see that. So this is, so guys, you can see how I've opened up this pattern, and I've also placed pattern paper on here. So the next thing we are going to be doing, I'm going to get this my ring that is going to use and hold the clothes, and moreover it opens up here so you can comfortably pass the clothes around. So then what I'm going to do is I'll keep this. Remember, this is our center front, so I'll make sure that I coincide this ring so that this place at the waist here is going to be at the center of this. So let's check it out. This is about 2.5, so what I'm having here is 1.5, so it's at the center. So this is what I have. Okay, so I am going to mark here. I'm going to trace this out this way. I'll trace this out round this way to this side. Okay, so now I've traced it out, this is also the center, so I'm going to go ahead and mark it. So I'm going to leave this here at the side, front side. You're going to start from the under bust. Okay, then what you're going to do is to connect from this under bust to this point that we marked here. Do you understand? So I'm going to use my curved ruler. I will connect from my under bust at this point this way to this place I marked here. Okay, so you can see what I've done here. So I'll go ahead and do it also for this part as well. You can see that the neck of that outfit is like a triangle, like a deep neck. Okay, so the next thing we are going to do is to take our ruler straight from here to this center front here at this point that we have this circle. So we are going to, this is what I'm going to have this way. I'm going to connect this with a straight line. I will also connect it the other side as well with a straight line. Can you see what I'm doing? So this is what I am going to have after I am done connecting it. I hope it makes sense. So this part of the outfit is going to be cut out. I'm not going to be needing this part. Let me even use red to mark it. We will not be needing this part, so I'm going to cut out this part as well. So the next thing we are going to do is start adding our slash. Okay, because you know that you need to open up this place, so by the time you add this circle, this ring, it's not going to have any form of weird kind of vibe. So I'm going to open it up. I'll just add 3 slashes. 1, 2, and then 3. Can you see? So I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I'll also do the same for this side. 1, 2, and then 3. So these are the slashes that we have. I hope you can understand that. So guys, the next thing I'm going to do is to go ahead and slash this pattern open. I'll first of all cut here out. You know that we are not going to be needing this place, so let's just remove it out so we can see what we are working with. Okay, and the next thing I'm going to do is to remove this this space in between this semicircle. Okay, I'll go ahead and cut that out as well. So now this is our pattern. So the next thing we're going to be doing is to slash this place open. So I'll go ahead and slash here open. Just look at what I'm doing. Okay, I also advise you, as you're slashing this open, try and slash it beyond your pattern, because when you're opening this, you're going to see it's going to have some form of weird kind of vibe. So but then make sure that after you're done slashing it, okay, that you don't the upper part, like this part, make sure that they are all equal and they are together and there's no space there. But do you get? So at this point, you know, these are necklines. I'm not going to slash here because this is what this is going to be going out. So I'll go ahead and replicate this thing again here. So what I'm going to do is I'll open up here. Okay, I'll open up here and do this. So you see what I'm telling you? Okay, let me take this back so you can see very well. You see what I'm saying when it comes to this pattern, that is supposed to try and slash it to the end, because when I'm shifting this, it is like here it's getting weird. Okay, so let me just slash it open. So I'll take this here and then I am going to pin it down. Let me pin this down first here. I will measure out like 1.5. That's the difference between them. I'll measure out 1.5 so that this one is going to be here. So I'll put this here. I'll measure out another 1.5, so this one is going to be here as well. So now I'll pin this here. So the space between them is going to be 1.5. I'm going to take my slash here open, so that this place is going to like behave and stay. Okay, so even here I am going to go ahead and slash it open to the full, so that it can relax. So I'll go ahead and slash it open like this, so that this can relax properly. Okay, obviously at this point, this center we're not going to be using here. We're going to throw this away, but I'm just going to keep this here for now. And then I am going to go ahead to this side of the outfit. So what we did for this other side, we're going to go ahead and replicate it on this side. So I am going to pin this down here. Then I am also going to have 1.5 difference. Then I'll put this one here and pin it down. Another 1.5 difference. I'll pin this down as well here. So the next thing I'll be doing is to slash here, okay, so that all this cloth is going to like relax very well. I'm going to slash here open. Then I'm going to get, let me get my sewing tape. I'll make sure that everything is together, okay, at this side is joined together, okay, because this side we are not adding any form of slashing space on it, so that it's still going to take the measurement, like the measurement of the owner of this clothes. I'll also open up this side. I'll open up this so that everything is going to relax, and make sure that everything joined together. At this point now, I'm just going to slash here open, okay. I'll tape this one down, all of them. So the next thing I'm going to do is to go ahead and like trace out this curve here, you know, so that it will have the circular form again. Like, let me trace this curve together, you know, the ring is round, so tracing this out to show us the formation that it is going to have. Okay, so this is it. I'll trace this out. So now that I'm done tracing this out, I will now go ahead and cut this place out. I've even gummed it together, but I'm going to open it up. I'll trace here out. Remember that we don't need this. This is our neckline. Remember that we don't need this. So now I've gotten everything I need for this clothes. I'll now go ahead and remove this. So this is what we are going to have. This is going to be for the other one side. This is going to be for the other side. So the next thing I'll do is to go ahead and add my sewing allowance. I'm going to be adding 1 inch to this. I'm going to add gradually, like add 1 inch here in a circular form, just like how we did here, just like how we followed the main pattern. Okay, I'll add my 1 inch round. You know that this thing is, this for the top part is a semicircle, like it's half of the ring. So the skirt part is also going to give us the remaining one. So what I'll do now is to go ahead and cut this pattern out. I'll pass through here and then I'll cut. Remember that this space in between, we don't need it. Then for this one here. So these are front pattern, guys. So for the back pattern, let's go back to the back pattern that we formerly had. Remember that we are slashing the green one out, so I'll go ahead and slash this green one out, and then open up, do for the armhole. Remember that this is the back pattern, so we are using this neckline, the one that the 1 inch depth. Then we'll cut here open. We are using the green line again. This cloth is going to carry a zip. So guys, we're going to go move ahead to cut the down part of the dress, like the skirt part. So I'm going to place my tape at her waist length. Her waist length is what? 16.5. So I'm going to place this tape from 16, okay? So from this 16, and I'm going to mark my hip length, which is 27. I'm going to mark my knee length. And knee length should be 40. I'm going to use 38. I'll go ahead and replicate the same thing here again. 38. Then I'll get the full length. Her full length I'm using is 50 inches. That's for because this is a maxi, like a long dress, so 50 inches. I'll also go ahead and mark the 50 inches here. Then I'll go ahead and connect everything together. So at the waist, I'm going to have, this waist is not going to have any dart. So our waist, round waist is 30 divided by 4, 7.5. Add 1 inch as the sewing allowance, which is 8.5. Around hip is 46, so divided by 4 is 11.5. I'll go ahead and mark it here, and then I'm going to add sewing allowance 1 inch, which is 12.5. So I'm going to bring this down, and then I'm going to come down here and mark 2 inches, and then leave it this way. So at the round knee, what I will be doing is to get my round knee. My round knee is 38. 38 divided by 4 is 9.5. I'm also going to go ahead and add an extra 1 inch per sewing allowance. And then for the full length, let me turn this skirt, the inside is giving pencil, so I'm going to subtract 2 inches from the 9.5 that we had at the knee, which is going to give me 7.5. okay, 7.5. I'll add sewing allowance, which is 1 inch here. So I'll go ahead and just connect all these lines together. So we are going to go ahead and label this our front pattern. I'm already cutting out this front pattern, can you see? But what I want to do is, before I cut it, I want to use this and draft out the back pattern before I now go ahead and do this for the front pattern. So what I want to do is, I'm going to come, this I want to do for my back pattern now. So at the waist, sorry, at the hip line, what we have is 12.5. I'll come here and mark that same 12.5 because the back is going to be having an elastic, so that it's going to like be the waist at the back is going to be more than the waist. So by the time we'll now use the elastic on it, it's going to like shrink it back. I hope you understand. So this is what I'm going to cut out now. Okay, so I'll now go ahead and cut this out, and then I'll use this and cut out my back pattern. I'll cut my back pattern on my fabric with this. Okay, I also cut out this place. Remember, this is not among our pattern. So this is what I'm now going to use and cut my back pattern. So guys, you can see that I've gone ahead to like cut out the back pattern of the outfit, and then at this waist side you can see that I used it the way it is. So for the front pattern now, I'll just go ahead and cut this side off. Okay, so guys, the next thing I'm going to do is to go ahead and cut this place out, so that we can come back to the center front that we had originally. Okay, so now I've cut this out, I'll go ahead and... So the next thing I'm going to do now is I'm going to take this ring back, and then I'm going to put it here. Okay, you see the way we got the center of that outfit that we had? So that's the same thing I'm going to do here. I'm going to make sure that this is going to be at the center. This is going to be at the center of this ring. Like this, our line here will be at the center of this ring. Okay, that's what I'm trying to get. That's, we know the other time we used 1.25. So this is what I have. So now I've gotten the center of this ring, I'm going to go ahead and then mark this down. Okay, so now I've marked this down, I'm going to come to this side of this the skirt, the side front, and I'm going to come down by 2.5 inches here. Then now I've come down by 2.5 inches, I'm going to connect this. I'm going to connect these 2.5 inches to this point here. I'm going to connect this together. So now I've connected this together, I'm going to go ahead and cut this side off. But before I cut it off, I'm going to go ahead and put my slashing, because we are going to be slashing here. So I'm going to put one slash pattern here. I'll put another one here, and then I'm going to put another one at this point. Okay, now I'll just put one more here, so it's going to be slashed open properly. So the next thing I'm going to do now is to go ahead and then cut this part out. Okay, then I'll slash here open, I'll slash here open, I'll slash here open, and then I'm also going to slash this side open, and finally this last one. Remember guys that this place we're going to be cutting here out. We're not going to be needing this side, so we're going to cut this out. Okay, what I will now do is to go ahead and start opening it up. Okay, I'm going to open this up, you know, so the difference is going to be 1.5. I'm still going to slash this open well so that this thing is going to form properly. So but I'm going to need a bigger paper to do so. So now I've gone ahead to pin everything down. So the difference between this and this and this is 1.25. okay, so we're going to see like the difference between all of that is 1.25. so I'm go ahead and then gum this down because I am done like placing it. So it's just like how we did it in the front. Okay, you just get the difference between them just like how we did it in the front. So I want to place this down. So the next thing I'm going to do is to go ahead and mark this together, like curve this together, so everything is going to like, you know, join up. Okay, so this is what I have now. Now I'll go ahead and add the sewing allowance on top of it, which is 1 inch. I'm going to go ahead and mark 1 inch here. This is what I am having. Okay, this is what I am having. So now this is what I'm going to go ahead and then cut out. So let's go ahead and cut this out. Remember that this part we are cutting here out, remember. This is what our front skirt is going to look like. So I'm basically cutting the pattern onto the fabric. Guys, the length I'm using for this is 52 inches. Yeah, just for the fillet. The 52 inches also include like the sewing allowance and all. At this point, I am drafting out the fillet part of this dress. So I'm not going to be taking you guys in details on how to draft this fillet because I already have a tutorial like that on my YouTube channel, which I'll be linking in the description box. Okay, so basically for this fillet of this cloth, you can see how full the fillet of this dress is. So I'm going to be making 3 fillets, like I'm going to be cutting 3 fillets and then joining it together so that it will give me that voluminous, bouncy, long vibe that you can see. So guys, you can see I have like 3 fillets here. This is the first one, second one, and then the third one. So I'm going to join everything together, and then at the edge of, you know, it's not have like 2 edges. After joining it, I will also fold this in and sew it. So guys, this is the outfit. This is the one part of the top side. You can see I've gone ahead to use bias to cover, clean it up, and then also added my sleeve. I've also done the same for this side of the outfit, also the other side of the top. You can see I've used bias to clean it up, and then for the skirt, you can see that I've also gone ahead to join the both sides together. Okay, I've joined the front and back together, and then I also use crinoline, sorry, bias to like clean up the edges, the mouth of the, you know, the waist part of this skirt. So you can see that semicircle part that we left open. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to my my machine. You know that I left 1 inch as my sewing allowance. I'm going to fold this in, okay, and sew 1 inch around this circle. Okay, so now I'm done joining the top part together, and I want to start fixing the circle, sorry, fixing the ring to pass through the holes, the 1 inch holes that we made. So I'll go ahead and put the skirt part in, as you can see me doing. Then I'll go, after doing that, I'll also pass the top side, the top. Remember that the top side for the front is open, but the zip is holding it at the back. But by the time we now fix the top parts together through this ring, it is going to now hold it, like, you know, secure it basically. I hope you guys can understand what I'm saying. But if you look at what I'm doing very well, just follow the video. It's going to be like very easy and self-explanatory. If you love to make an outfit with me, my details will be in the description box. I hope you found this video helpful, guys. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel, thumbs up this video, and leave a comment. If you have any tutorial you want me to film, please just let me know in the comment section as well, and I'll see you guys in my next one.